Hello, everyone. Welcome to Deep Convos Podcast. It's your hosts, Fran, me, and my sister Meg. Say hi, Meg.
Hi.
So today we're doing a Halloween themed podcast. Happy Halloween,
Woohoo.
everyone. Woohoo. And if you can't see it, but we're celebrating by Meg actually having Halloween decor behind her, like physical ones. And I have a Zoom background because I only have a blank white wall. Yay.
Yay. It actually makes your room bigger. Looks like you got more space going.
It looks like I'm outside and I actually have a patio.
There's more depth.
Yeah, I
Like
have
my eyes travel farther.
There's like depth perception.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Because there's no depth perception with your actual room.
Ooh, you just said death perception.
Ooh.
Okay, so setting the tone. So today is just gonna be a really light and happy, just kidding, but like
Not really.
it's gonna be scary. We're gonna make it scary. We found some scary stories on the web. I know I'm 55 years old, so I call it the web, and also Charlotte's Web. Get it? And we're going to read it to each other. We don't know what stories the other person picked, and then we're going to react to it and think about if certain similar scary things have happened to us. And I know, speaking for myself, a lot of scary shit has happened to me in my childhood. So I'm really looking forward to scaring the shite out of both of us. So Meg, are you ready?
I'm ready. And I was actually going to eat my candy throughout this, but it's so loud and it's all stuck in my teeth now. So I'm going to stop.
No one. Okay,
pretty sad.
she's eating a Twizzlers. No one can hear when you
It's stuck in my teeth and it's going to impact my
That's
vocals.
good. It's like, it's wacky. It's like Halloween,
But I do have my pumpkin apple cider.
Oh my God. You're so festive. I don't have any candy.
Should have prepared.
Drug. Sucks for you, dude. Okay, cool. Cool vibes.
Okay.
All right. So who wants to read? Do you want to read first?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So I'm actually gonna bring back a classic since I don't know, those are my favorites, and I feel like just universally it creeps people out. So the first one I'm gonna read for us today is called Humans Can Lick Too.
Ooh, I love this one.
Okay, so this may sound familiar. You've probably heard of this, but I'm bringing it back, y'all.
I love it.
Okay. So this one is called Licking. Sorry, Humans Can Lick Too. It has various titles. This particular webpage calls it Licking, which makes it just sound sexual.
Sexy. I mean,
okay.
Wait, can I just say something? This story can be sexual. Just FYI.
Yeah, just tell yourself that to make it less scary.
If you think about it. Okay, keep going.
Okay. So my great-grandmother lived alone up in the mountains at her cabin. Her husband was dead, so she was there all alone. She only had one companion, and that was her loving dog. They both adored each other, and the dog was a great comfort to her. Every night when she went to bed, the dog would lick her hand and let her know that he was there to protect her. One night, she had gone to bed and the dog had licked her hand like he had done routinely every night since her husband died. But this night was different. She had woken up in the middle of the night because she heard her dog whimpering. She wanted to comfort him and let her know that she was there for him, so she stuck her hand out by the bed and she felt the dog gently lick her hand like always. She figured he was just cold, so she went back to sleep. The dog's whimpering had woken her up a second time in the night, so she stuck her hand out. Yeah.
So the reactions, do I have to wait till after to react?
Yeah, wait till after. Because you don't want to disrupt the flow.
Hey, but I'm going to forget.
It's short too.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So the dog's whimpering had woken her up a second time. You can react with your face, people.
I'm going to do some sounds.
The dog's whimpering had woken her up a second time in the night. So she stuck her hand out. The dog licked it and she went back to sleep. This happened a third time. And she stuck her hand out and the dog stopped whimpering and came and licked her hand. She stayed awake a few moments afterwards and she went back to sleep again. In the morning, she woke up and stuck her hand out by the bed, but nothing licked her hand. She thought that the dog had already awakened and was just in the front room. She rolled over and got out of bed and heard a drip, 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 drip. She thought the sound was coming from the kitchen, so she walked over and turned the handles on the sink faucet, but it wasn't the source of the noise. After frustratingly checking the sink and its pipes, she gave up and continued into her bathroom to take a shower. As she got closer to the bathroom door, it was evident that the sound was coming from within. She opened the door, looked above the bathtub, and gasped in utter horror. There, hanging from the light by his collar, was her loving companion. His blood was dripping into the bathtub. She screamed and began to cry. Wiping her hands and sobbing, she turned and looked into the mirror. In the mirror, she saw the dog's reflection, and written on the mirror, in her dog's blood, with drips and streaks hanging down from each letter, were the words, "Humans can lick too." Dun, dun, dun.
That is fucked up. I mean, I've heard this story many times, but it still is very disturbing.
Yeah. In the variation I heard, she was hearing the drips throughout the night, actually. It didn't.
Oh, so her dog was like dead the entire.
Yeah, like her dog was dead already. So in the version that I know, she was actually awakened. So it was like a huge thunderstorm. So just the setting was all wrong, right? Like it was storming. She was scared. She was alone with her dog, and she kept hearing this persistent drip.
Yeah.
And it unsettled her. But then she would feel her dog licking her, and then she'd feel comforted, like, okay, like maybe it's just my house doing weird things. But in this version, she noticed
that is creepy. Well, my reaction listening to it this time around, let's do some critical analysis. How do you not realize that the lick that's happening is like not your dog's fucking
Yeah, you would
tongue,
think you'd be familiar.
Sicko?
You think you'd be familiar with dogs.
Human's tongue lick is different from a dog's tongue lick.
Well, maybe the human was sick and imitated.
Oh yeah, maybe
a big sloppy
human had like practice. He's killed multiple pets because like obviously his only MO is to torture humans by killing their pets. Like he didn't kill the woman. So
yeah, that's interesting that he left her alive. Like why he was just there for the dog? It's
right.
weird.
Well, that's the thing. I think his like what gets him off is killing fucking pets, dogs, and then torturing humans. So he must have mastered the lick, trial and error.
Yeah.
And no, that was a criticism. It's like he left her alive. So I mean, it's not a criticism. Maybe that's just maybe he's not.
And I think like when you're just scared and stuff and you're unsettled, you kind of overlook stuff like that because like again in this version I heard it was just really bad storm outside, so it was loud outside. It was a lot of thunder. There's like a drip coming, and then all you know is that it's just you and your dog. So your mind is not gonna pick up on. Maybe your mind just doesn't pick up on the fact that this is different. I don't know.
Maybe.
And I'm putting myself in her situation, and I would just immediately feel comfort.
No, I hear what you're saying, but I know I'm a different kind of person because if that happened to me, I would feel it and it would make it worse. I would totally think the other way because it's already scary. I would think scarier things. I would be like, what? And I would insist on seeing my dog. I would be like, if I were scared, I would want my dog next to me anyway. I'd be like, get up here. And then it's the guy. If I did that. So I would be dead. Shut up. And why is it always a thing?
I like forgot that you were in this like cozy little Halloween.
Yeah, I know. You thought I was in the fucking burbs, didn't you? Okay.
Well, we're starting off with a classic. Here's the next one.
This one is so mine are all from Reddit people. These are like true stories from people. On Reddit. Okay, this one's called where do I start? Okay, a stranger in my apartment. Okay, I only skipped these. These weren't like I didn't fully edit
vetted.
I didn't fully vet them with my brain, so they could
there could be an entire paragraph of just typos and completely not related.
And like just grammatically, syntactically bad. So apologies in advance if that happens. Okay. It's called Stranger in My Apartment. This is my first story. By the way, can you listen? Oh, I won't read that sentence. It's not relevant. Okay. This happened.
You have to read everything, dude.
Fine. This is my first story. By the way, English isn't my mother tongue, so sorry if I make any mistake.
The people who always say that have incredible English. Like,
I know, this looks fine to me. Anywho, this happened to me 2 weeks ago. I started university in September and therefore live in a quote unquote students only apartment complex. There were 4 other apartments in my hallway, and sometimes we just spend time in each other's apartments. I had the absolute I had the absolute chance, that's ironic. That's her. I had the absolute chance, that's ironic, to lose my keys. She had it in parens. I had the absolute chance. Okay, to lose my keys the first week of universe. Oh no, it's the fucking brake thing. I'm sorry. Sorry guys, can we pause? I need to turn off my brakes. This is off to a bad start already.
It's a mess.
Okay, I had the absolute chance, that's ironic, to lose my keys the first week of university. It wasn't a big deal. I simply paid for another key. After a week in my apartment, I started to notice that some of my stuff wasn't in the same place as I thought I'd put it. I don't know why you're laughing. It didn't scare me because I know I'm a distracted person. Why are you laughing? I don't know why you're laughing. Can you tell me? Okay, pause. Why are you laughing?
The way you're reading.
Reading like a human being. Anywho, continuing. On the day of the incident, I was coming home earlier than usual with another student, Thomas, the boy that lives in the apartment next to mine. We got in, and when I unlocked my door, I saw a woman inside my apartment. Of course, it scared me, but I was about to ask her what the fuck she was doing here. She told me, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know you'd be home this early. I'm the janitor. I clean rooms weekly." She then smiled at me and went out. I didn't know we had a janitor, but this kind of explained why my stuff was moving. Thomas didn't notice she had left her keys on my desk and said I should give them back to her. When I took a closer look, I just realized those were my lost keys. The night passed, and I decided to talk to the man in charge of the complex about this. I told him that the janitor had lost my keys, so I didn't really lose them. And what? Why was that? I told him that I told him that the janitor that had lost my keys, janitor had lost my keys, so I didn't really lose them. And I asked for my money back. He just looked at me in total incomprehension and told me, "But we don't even have a janitor." I just froze. Then who the fuck went into my apartment the past few weeks? Why was she there? We didn't call the police because nothing had been stolen, but still, I searched for cameras in my apartment. You never know with these psychopaths. I haven't seen her since that, and I'm glad to know that she can't enter the complex anymore without the badge on the keys. Okay, I mean, not
Wait, I thought that was like she was a ghost then, but
me
it's just a
too, but
real
it's just
person
like
who's
a random
unauthorized.
person who just went in. I mean, it's not urban legend slash scary so much as it could happen, and it is fucking
It's
scary
creepy.
and creepy to have like a random stranger just waltz in, and obviously this person had been doing it continuously. They've been slowly taking random shit and moving shit around, sometimes not even stealing, moving shit around. Like that's kind of creepy behavior.
Mhm.
um I mean, I don't know, I would
Yeah,
be
that's
creeped
just
out.
weird.
It's creepy. It's not like scary, but I would be creeped out if like if my stuff in my room was moved, and then I'd found out like throughout several days someone had just been walking in and out moving shit. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking creepy. I mean,
Just
it's
like
not scary.
anytime your space is breached, your privacy is breached, that's just an unsettling feeling
Yeah.
immediately. Like for me, when I used to have night terrors, that's what would get it for me. Just the fact that I would make sure my doors were locked every night, that all my windows were locked, but then it didn't matter. Like in my dreams and my night terrors, I would still have these vivid visions of people like coming into my room and invading my space. That
Yeah.
alone is enough to unsettle
Right.
anyone.
Right. And also the fact that your room is like where you do like fucking disgusting shit because you don't
Yeah, it's very
know.
personal.
It's very personal. You're like your legs are splayed wide and you're like fucking your fingers are up your nose and your ass. And and then like all of a sudden you're like, oh, people have been coming in and out. Like and when she said in the story, like she checked for cameras, I would do that. It's like the whole time I had my fingers up my nose, like someone has had a camera and also like taking my clothes off and shit, like
Mhm.
like also like your your sense of like comfort, like the comfort you feel when you walk and you're like, I can like loosen like undo the bra straps, relax. Like that's gone. Like that comfort is like, it's like that is very scary.
And I think too, like going back to like my own personal experience, when are you most vulnerable? When you're in your room or in your space, when you're sleeping, right?
Yes.
You want a good night's sleep at the end of the day. How can you possibly get that if you know that someone is like there?
You can't.
And they could potentially harm you because that's your most vulnerable state.
Right.
Like,
I would only once again feel comfortable if like the locks were changed, the security upped, and my room thoroughly scoured of cameras. That's the only time I would feel comfortable again.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's your turn.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm bringing it back with the urban.
Yeah, let's do a little mix, you know?
Okay. So this one is another one of my favorites that you've probably heard. And also, fun fact, this story was apparently told by one of the guys in the Dead Poet Society, which is one of my favorite movies. So if you recall, like they were having their little meeting in the cave. One of them told the story. The actor from House. I forgot that actor's name.
Yeah, me too. He's
that
good.
guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this story is called The Jigsaw Puzzle. Okay. There was a young lady who lived on her own in a very remote area. She had no family or friends, and she was never married. And she had never married. Her only joy in life was doing jigsaw puzzles. Every night, she would sit by herself at her kitchen table and work on a new jigsaw puzzle until it was complete. That's very fitting for these pandemic times. Everyone's doing jigsaw puzzles.
Right. Remote and isolation too.
Yeah, exactly. It's very fitting. One dark and rainy night, she was moving furniture in her bedroom. When she pulled back her wardrobe, she found a dusty old box wedged down behind it. When she pulled out the box and dusted it off, she realized it was a jigsaw puzzle. The box cover was faded and she couldn't make out the picture on it. So it's like a mystery puzzle. Her curiosity got the better of her and she decided to put the puzzle together. She brought it down to her kitchen table and began to work on it. But as she pieced the puzzle together, she realized to her astonishment that the image that was formed was the very room in which she was sitting. And the figure in the center of the puzzle, as she completed it, was herself. And with trembling hands, this is directly from the Dead Poet Society, this line. And with trembling hands, she placed the last 4 pieces and stared in horror at the puzzle. In the picture, she saw herself sitting at the kitchen table, and in the window behind her was the face of a crazed madman, grinning and brandishing an axe.
Oh my God!
Terrified, the lady didn't dare to turn around. The last thing that the young lady ever heard was a sound of breaking glass.
Oh my God. Do you think... Okay, here's my initial thought right now. Besides, fuck!
Yeah, that's terrifying. That's one of my favorites.
That's so scary, man.
Can you imagine?
But okay, back to critical analysis.
Critical.
Do you think it was actually good that she had solved that puzzle at that point because it gave her a heads up? So maybe she had a little bit extra, like a couple seconds there, to like even grab anything to defend.
But dude, can you imagine? Like you're in shock. You don't even have a couple of seconds.
I don't know.
Time to like process that.
Okay, true. You could be in shock, or adrenaline does really amazing things to a human body. Like when you know you're about to like fucking die or something, your body goes.
Yeah, I think if that happened to me, because she was doing her puzzle in front of the window. Her back was to the window. So say this TV behind me is the window. If I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, there's like a man in the window in this puzzle. My instinct, I think my body would want to go away from the window.
Right.
Well, I wouldn't look behind me because I'd be too scared. Then I would just go like,
and you wouldn't even happen up here. It would happen in your gut. Your body would just probably immediately go. Psh. And I think like if the puzzle didn't do it, her body definitely moved somewhere when the glass broke, is what I'm saying. I feel like she had it, as opposed to like her body was already primed, as opposed to like if she was just not doing the puzzle and the guy was there, she would have been like la-di-da-di-da, like my little tea and my little Jeopardy on the TV, and then he comes in, like.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with this story. It didn't say whether she lived or died. It just said the last thing she heard Oh, well, never mind. The last thing the young lady ever heard. So it implies that she died.
Fuck, why did you have to do that, story writer? Why can't you just take out the ever out? You know, I want to believe that she fought and like
No, the
maybe.
last thing the young lady ever heard was the sound of breaking
Okay, well, I
glass.
choose to believe that maybe she did die, but in the process, she also killed him.
Okay, believe whatever you want, but that's not what happened.
No, I mean, I'm granting that she died, but she also could have killed the guy in her fight. You like how my hair is disappearing when I put it up here?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like the
Oh,
fence is eating it.
spooky. Okay, what other okay, my other bit of critical analysis
Oh, wow.
is like what kind of a person. I mean, no, I don't want to be glib about it. Like I'm sure there are people out there who don't have friends, don't have family, never. I don't know why they had to say never been married. Why can't you just say who cares? I've never been married. Am I
Yeah.
sad or lonely? Yeah, sometimes. Anyway, like why don't you just say like she's never been in a relationship? Like, okay.
Yeah, I think that was irrelevant. That just comes to the
Um,
writing style of whoever wrote this.
but also I don't know. She has family. Like, how was she born in this world? Like maybe they're
I
dead.
think what they were just trying to say is she was a isolated, sort of secluded kind of person
Okay, then say
by
that.
choice.
No friends, no family, no husband in a remote village. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote this with your word ever. Okay.
Well, on a good note, then that would make it easy to find the guy. And if the police find her later, it'd be easy to find him because it's a remote village. Not a lot of peeps to choose from, you know?
No, but that means by the time they even know that she's dead, her body's gone. It's like fucking
Oh
beyond
yeah, like who
decomposed. Like who
who
the
would
fuck was
maybe there'd
living
be a
there?
witness or someone. I mean, she's
Who?
gotta have a
She's in
neighbor.
a remote village.
Maybe like a dog.
Yeah, let's ask the dog.
The neighbor's dog.
Let's fucking ask the dog what happened. No, let's put him on the witness stand or whatever. Put them in the interrogation room.
Okay,
Okay.
anyway.
This is a I don't know. Oh no, let's do this one. I'm gonna skip around. This is another Reddit true story. It's called They Know Where I Live.
Mm.
Okay. Sorry for the long story, but I can't figure out this person's motive.
I like these little intros.
No, it's like, why are you starting it with that? Okay, one night I was in bed with my BF. It was about 1:30 a.m. I got a text from a random number saying, "Is this my name? Sorry for messaging late and out of the blue like this, but I don't think my boyfriend's name is being." Oh, okay. So let's just say this person, come on. Okay, let's just say this person's name is like Sarah and her boyfriend's name is Ben. Okay. So I get a text from a random number saying, "Is this Sarah? Sorry for messaging late and out of the blue like this, but I don't think Ben is being honest with me and I need to talk to you." Sorry, this is just written weird. Okay. We exchanged a few texts and basically they're accusing my BF on cheating on both of us. Okay. Obviously, I was annoyed, but bear in mind it was June 2020, bang in the middle of coronavirus. Okay, this person's from the UK. Bang in the middle of coronavirus lockdown in the UK. We'd spent every day together since March. He denied it all and insisted he didn't know who this person was. The same number starts texting him, angry texts, calling him a lying rat, etc. Not looking good for BF. But this is where it gets weird. This person gives no specifics. They won't tell me their name, what my BF has done, only that he was a liar and that I was an idiot for believing him. I'd ask, but they would just reply vague, angry texts. Their grammar and spelling were good, but they'd use slang words from our local area. Okay. We assumed maybe it was some kids who found our numbers off Facebook and were having a laugh, so I tried ignoring it. Then nothing until my BF gets a text the following afternoon asking him to meet them at a local social club for quote unquote some company. Me and a friend got straight in the car and went down there. No one was there, and the club was closed because of COVID. But we couldn't help feel like we were being watched. It was really weird. A few days go by and the same number starts texting me again. This time a text language is all weird, like spelling mistakes saying why you spaced the number 2 instead of you two, that kind of thing. It felt like it was a different person texting me. They seem a lot angrier with me now because I didn't believe them straight away. Then they text me, "You're so dull. I see him leaving your house earlier. LMAO." Cocky, I said something like funny. That where's my house then? And they reply with my fucking street name. They also knew things about us, like the fact that he was in the army, but I guess you can figure that out from his social media photos. That was in parentheses. I called them loads, but it would just ring twice and cut off. Tried searching the number on WhatsApp and on few social media sites, nothing. Only on Instagram, the number would come up with a location of a film company in Raalte, Netherlands. When I'd Google the number, its provider is Tisme. I've never heard of Tisme, but it looks like it might be a fake number. They never asked for any money or anything like that either. Don't get why someone would go through that much effort just to wind us up. Last text I had was, "Okay, you will see eventually." LMAO. Creepy. I don't know. I think it's like a bunch of like fucking teenagers having a laugh, as they say in the UK. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, they're asking like, why would they do this? Well, it is like pandemic times, coronavirus. There's nothing to do. This
Yeah.
is something teenagers would for sure get a kick out of. As annoying
Right.
as it is.
As annoying, and it is scary. Like, I mean, I know maybe someone can really do some digging to like find, but like that's a lot of the thing that's creepy about it is that's a lot of digging to like look for someone's street number. And like I almost have a feeling, and she or he had said that the slang was from a local neighborhood, like their neighborhood, like the slang used
Mhm.
was in the town that they lived. So it makes
Yeah.
me think, like, would this person even maybe know them? And so the fact that they knew the street that she lived at was like fucking like a little bit creepy. It does feel like a
Mhm.
prank, but that's an extra level. It's not just like a, hey, oh, your boyfriend's cheating on you. It's like beyond. It's like, I don't know. It feels different.
Yeah. But at the same time, and this is from someone who really enjoys the show Catfish,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people, I like a lot of the people that are in that show that they've caught as catfish, like you will see a lot of people who spend years of their lives doing this. And then while some of them are like heartfelt and they're sorry and they just were ashamed of their true selves, there is a good handful of them that are just pranking for years. And there's just people that
Yeah.
are sick like that,
I
you know,
guess,
like
yeah, some
maybe
people are
it
just,
crossed someone's mind, like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool if I took this to the next level? Where I freak this person out to the point where I told them that I know where they live. Like, wouldn't that be like such a thrill? And there are like
yeah.
sickos out there who,
Yeah, I think this one we can chalk up to just fucking teenage sickos.
yeah. What about like the changing text?
That's what I think. It's multiple teenagers. Like they both, not, if there's at least two. I think it's just a bunch of like giggling sicko teens going like, hey,
Giggling sickos.
and maybe they know. I don't know. Maybe it's like in the same school as they. I have a feeling these people are
Yeah.
really young. Like I have a feeling they're like,
Like
teenagers can
acquainted
really.
somehow.
Yeah, like they probably know them from like school, and it's like, oh, let's like fucking torture these people.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just like boredom from COVID. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, bringing it back to Urbans. Keith
Okay.
Urbans.
All right. So for the next set of urbans that I will tell, I actually have, or I was able to source the truth, well, like the origins of like kind of like what really happened, because urban legends are inspired from truth. So I think it'd be fun for these next few for me to tell the story and then you react and like give your thoughts, whatever theories, and then I'll tell you like the actual
Ooh,
like
okay. A
current
little
background.
interactive interaction here. Okay.
Okay. Let me click this. Okay. Okay. So this one is called, you've probably heard of this, The Killer in the Backseat. Okay. It's also known in some places as high beams. Okay. So the story. The girl driving the old blue sedan was a senior at the high school. She lived on a farm about 8 miles away and used the car to drive back and forth. She had driven into town that night to see a basketball game. Now she was on her way home. As she pulled away from the school, she noticed a red pickup truck following her out of the parking lot. A few minutes later, the truck was still behind her. I guess we're going in the same direction, she thought. She began to watch the truck in her mirror. When she changed her speed, the driver of the truck changed his speed as well. When she passed a car, so did he. Then he turned on his high beams, flooding her car with light. He left them on for almost a full minute. He probably wants to pass me, she thought, but she was becoming uneasy. Usually she drove home over the back road. Not too many people went that way. But when she turned onto that road, so did the truck. I've got to get away from him, she thought, and began to drive faster. Then he turned his high beams on again. After a minute, he turned them off. Then he turned them on again and off again. She drove even faster, but the truck stayed right behind her. Then he turned on his high beams again. Once more, her car was ablaze with light. What is he doing? She wondered. What does he want? Then he turned them off again. But a minute later, he had them on again and left them on. At last, she pulled into her driveway and the truck pulled in right behind her. She jumped from the car into the house. Call the police, she screamed at her father. Out in the driveway, she could see the driver of the truck. He had a gun in his hand. When the police arrived, they started to arrest him, but he pointed to the girl's car. You don't want me, he said. You want him. Crouched behind the driver's seat in the girl's car, there was a man with a knife. As the driver of the truck explained it, the man slipped into the girl's car just before she left the school. He saw it happen, but there was no way he could stop it. He thought about getting the police, but he was afraid to leave her. So he followed her in his car. Each time the man in the backseat reached up to overpower her, the driver of the truck turned on his high beams. Then the man dropped down, afraid that someone might see him.
Whoa. I mean,
Classic.
I didn't remember that. I thought that she actually had died in.
Nope.
Okay, that's
not the version I know. She always made it home because that's where the big reveal comes out, right?
Right.
And that's what makes it so scary is the close call. Like she could have died.
Yeah.
That's really what gets me. And this is, I think, like every woman's nightmare. You know I always think about this. Like when I used to work like at the mall a lot, like at the restaurant, because I would be coming home late at night a lot. And there were a lot of times when I would have to like drive home alone, go to the parking lot in the dark. Like this is every woman goes through. Why women walk around with like the key between their hands, right? Because of this fear. And I always have this fear about like, what if someone's in the backseat? And you start to think of like these irrational things like, oh my gosh, like imagine like it's 11 p.m. It's time to go home. You go into the parking lot. There's just two cars there, yours and someone else's right beside you.
Yeah.
Would that not freak you out? Would you even be too scared to go inside the door, right? Because what if like there's someone in the car next to you and they could just pull you?
I would always just check the back seat.
Yeah. This is, I think, like where if you even have a shred of just unease, it's best to ask someone to walk to the car with you. And I hate how that's the reality for women, but I would rather have that ease. Like I would rather go back and ask like the security man, whoever, like, hey, do you mind walking me to my car, and just have that peace of mind? Because this story, what scares me the most is it actually can happen. Like it actually can be true.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, what are your reactions? This is just like why I love it so much, but
nothing really. I mean, it's just fucking scary. Like, I don't have any critical analysis of this. Like,
wow, really? That's weird.
I mean, there's no like logic holes, you know, like, I mean, it's very lucky that the truck driver happened to see it and like that he was a good Samaritan. Like it was very lucky that those factors happened to happen at those, you know, cross paths. Like could easily have just been like, oh, not my problem, you know, or like he could easily have been like there was no one who had seen it.
I don't know how anyone could just let that go if they saw something like that.
Well, you'd be surprised.
That's like, I could not live with myself if I saw like a creepy dude crawling in some girl's car like that.
I know.
If not following her, I would at least call the police and be like, hey, I just saw a girl leaving in this
at
car.
the very least, someone should call the police. I mean, I think most people, that's what they would do. But the fact that the guy even drove and kept at it. But I just I don't know, maybe it's this year or whatever, but I feel like some people would just be like, well, hope. I know I wouldn't be able to live with myself, but some people are just fucked up. We already talked about this. It's like some
Yeah.
people are just fucked up. So
Yeah. Do you want to hear the origins?
wait, I thought I was gonna guess.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't have any basis for this
Or
guess,
the
but
history, I guess. Not even the origins, but
I think it happened in the 70s.
a lot of shit happened in the 70s. That's like a good guess.
Is it?
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
So, versions of this story began appearing as early as the 1960s.
Ugh,
With
so close.
the victim alternately a teenager driving home from a school play or a woman coming back from a social engagement. So it's one of those two. Occasionally, the tale would be a massive commercial truck that seemed ready to run her over. The fake out survivor. The fake out savior might be a gas attendant, a husband, or a cop who roughs up the stalker before his altruistic intention is finally revealed. At least half of the tale is grounded in reality. Over the years, there have been several incidences of lurkers who have stowed away in the rear seat of vehicles, emerging to attack drivers or simply to evade capture by police. In 1964, one criminal made the mistake of hiding in a car owned by a police officer. Ha ha ha. Really? That's so stupid. The detective turned and fired on his uninvited passenger. The addition of a good Samaritan who notices the danger and tails the terrified driver appears to be pure embellishment, however. So that fact is
Yeah, that's
added on.
that's sad. That was a cool,
Yeah. But it gives you an idea of what to do. I mean, that's like a very
yeah, it's a
valid thing to
cool
do if you see
detail.
something like that.
Yeah, interesting that no, I mean it makes sense that the would-be killer didn't go through with it whenever the high beams were on,
Hmm.
but I guess he could easily have done just killed her and then just taken over and driven.
Hmm.
But like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's the only quote unquote hole is like why didn't he just go through with it anyway?
Yep.
Because he could just escape.
Anyway,
What was his motive?
the killer?
Yeah, is he a serial killer, you think?
Probably. I mean, that sounds like someone who just wants to.
Yeah, like the EAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that book.
What are we loving this week? And like for all of the year, that what is
That
it? The
book and
Golden
that
State
series.
Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just mailed that to my sister, guys, and I just
Yeah, I
finished
just got
it.
it. Yay.
Really good.
Good
Okay.
Halloween read, I guess. Okay. So wait, I have one more and then you have one more.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know how long. I'm not timing this.
No, we should just do one more each.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how long this is. I timing either. Okay. This one is. Oh wait, do I have any more? Oh wait, I do. Wait. This one's called "A Stranger Entered My House." Another one. This is my first post. I just found the subreddit and made an account so I could contribute.
This is my
I
849th
know it's like we don't
post.
need this. My sister and I are sort of magnets for weird shit happening, so I might post a couple other stories in the future. Just
Hey, thanks. No one cares.
just FYI. This happened when I was about 12 years old in Kansas. I was sitting in my bedroom playing Halo. My parents were both out running errands and my sister was at work, so I was at home alone with my two dogs, a little terrier and a Bichon Frise. Not exactly the attack dog breeds, more like early warning systems at best. I had been at home alone before. It was really was not a big deal. We lived in a pretty safe part of town that had never had any problems, other than one time where some people sprayed KKK graffiti on some public park equipment. I mean, that's pretty big, but anyway. Anyway, I was kicking back in my chair, Doritos in one hand, I love the detail, controller in the other, full gamer mode, when I heard the very distinct Meg, you don't need a fucking interpretive dance. When I heard the very distinct sound of my door open and close, like someone had just come in. Meg, this is serious. Someone had just come in. The room the room I was faced in such a way where I could, it's not grammatically correct, but where I could not see the front door. My dogs got up and ran to the living room, and so I just assumed my parents were home. I shouted for my mom to confirm this. I'm a bit paranoid due to the aforementioned being a weird shit magnet, and I heard no response. My dogs also were not barking like they normally do when someone gets home. I thought that was kind of weird, so I paused my game and walked out into the living room. Nothing. I felt the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I had heard someone come in, clear as day. I was not wearing headphones. I had the TV turned down and was listening to music, so I knew it couldn't have been the game. I immediately went to my parents' closet and grabbed a shotgun. Yeah, that's how you know this is in Kansas. Like a good Midwest boy, just a good Midwest 12-year-old boy tends to do. The only problem with that was that I did not know where my dad kept the shells. Good. I mean, I guess not in this case. So my plan was to fake it and hope that they didn't have a gun of their own. Stupid plan. I wasn't the brightest kid. That's in parentheses. At this point, doubts started to kick in. Had I actually heard the door? Was it the game? But then I thought, why would the dogs jump up like that if it was? I walked back into my living room, unloaded shotgun pointed in front of me. I tried to call my dad. He didn't pick up. I tried to call my mom. She didn't pick up. What kind of parents are these? Your kid's home alone. I tried to
Kansas
call
parents.
Kansas parents.
This is how they roll in Kansas.
Jeez. I tried to call two of my friends. They didn't pick up either. My 12-year-old mind immediately jumped to, holy fuck, they're all dead. Wow, that's a leap. And so for the first time in my life, I had to call 911. The operator picked up. I explained the situation with tears in my eyes from fear. She told me to stay calm and that police were on their way. The difficult part about staying calm was that there was a hallway by my front door. I knew in my heart of hearts that there was someone in that hallway about to jump out and really fuck my day up. This is a kid. This is a guy. My two dogs were right by me, also staring towards the hallway. That's so scary when the two dogs are also staring towards the hallway.
Yeah, animals can see things that we
That's
can't.
so scary.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing. I stood there rooted to the spot for what felt like an hour, but it was actually only a few minutes. The operator's voice in my ear telling me to stay calm. Thankfully, my parents opened the front door. What the fuck are you doing? That's his dad, I think. I explained to my father the situation we are currently in. He grabs his pistol from the front room. Didn't know that was there. Thanks, Dad. That was him. And we go a hunting. A hunting. I always thought it would be cool to go around clearing rooms and shit like a SWAT team, but fuck if I wasn't about to shit myself every time we open a
He's
bedroom
such a
door.
kid.
I know. We didn't find anything. The police arrived shortly after and told us that this had been happening over the past few weeks. People wait until homeowners leave, check the door, and if it's unlocked, they go in and take valuables. They said whoever it was probably left when they heard that someone was home, which never quite sat right with me because I only heard the door open and close once. Ever since this happened, I have triple checked every door and window lock whenever I am home alone. I could never be home alone after that. To whoever walked into my house that day, I never saw you. And I really hope I never do.
Why are they talking to the person?
I don't know. Like, do you think this person or ghost is reading Reddit? Like, maybe. I don't know. Who the fuck knows?
That was like terrifying and funny at the same time.
I know. Dude, that's scary if it's only open and closed once. And like,
Yeah, dude.
because it could be one of two things. Someone just really was sneaky and was hiding the entire time, or it's a fucking ghost. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? You can't win either way.
You know what I think?
What?
I really think it's a ghost,
Ah!
not a real person, because the dogs were looking at that spot.
Oh my god, that's fucking.
They were fixated on the spot where no physical person was there. And like, I really believe this. And I think like, I don't know if scientifically it's proven, but I really do believe that dogs and cats and animals can sense things that we humans can't.
So scary.
If it was a real person, the dogs would have went to where the real person was hiding. If that real person was in the house, they would not have just stared at an empty hall like that.
Yeah.
So it's a ghost. It's not a real person.
That's scary.
That's my conclusion.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Oh my
So
god.
I grabbed my dad's shotgun.
I know. It's like, fuck if I wouldn't shit myself if we didn't check every bedroom door. I'm like, okay, kid. Calm down. Okay.
Okay.
It's the last one, guys.
Okay, let's wrap up with one more
Urban.
Urban legend that I will also reveal the origins slash history.
Ooh, okay.
So this
Interaction.
one is another one of my faves. Just because it's like
We're just
really
going
creepy.
through Meg's top hits here.
These are my top hits, guys. Okay, so this urban legend is called The Girl with the Ribbon Around Her Neck.
Okay, I don't know if I know this. It
You
sounds
probably do. I feel like they told
terrifying.
the story in like the Tales of the Dark or the
Tales from the Crypt.
yeah, Tales from the Crypt.
Or also Tales.
Yeah, it was
Are
like
you
I'm
afraid of
pretty
the
sure.
dark?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was featured in one of those like kids
Yeah,
scary
I love
shows.
those shows.
Okay, so the girl with the ribbon around her neck. A long time ago, there lived a
Why
girl.
is- a long time ago.
The way this was written, I just felt like reading it that way. Like a long time ago, there lived a girl who had a dark green ribbon tied around her neck.
What kind of a first sentence is that?
On her first day of school, the boy sitting behind her, whose name was Jim, noticed it from beneath her blonde hair. Why are you wearing that green ribbon? He asked the little girl. She looked at the ground. Someday, maybe I'll tell you, she said and turned away.
That's fucking creepy.
A year later, they became best friends. I would not become friends with someone like
What?
that. A year later, they became best friends, and whilst they were eating lunch,
What
Jim
the
asked,
hell? I'm sorry.
"Why do you wear that green ribbon?" The little girl laughed awkwardly. Maybe I'll tell you another time.
Uh,
When they entered high school, Jim asked the girl out, and she soon became his
what the
girlfriend.
fuck is happening?
He asked again as they were kissing. Now, will you tell me why you wear that green ribbon? He pleaded with her. Maybe if we ever get married, I'll tell you, she said, biting her lip.
What the fuck? Red flags, dude. Red flags.
Jim fell in love with the little girl, and 10 years later,
Wait, can
he
we pause?
proposed.
Why is he still calling her a little girl? Okay,
Not
fine.
anymore.
Okay.
Jim fell in love with the girl. Oh, I think I said little girl by accident.
Okay.
Jim fell in love with the girl, and 10 years later, he proposed. They got married. In bed, their first night, the only thing his new wife wouldn't take off
That's fucked
her
up.
green ribbon.
Fucked up.
Please tell me why you wear that ribbon, Jim begged. If we ever have kids, I'll tell you, she replied, averting her gaze. They had 2 children, a boy and a girl, and then Jim asked again, now, will you please, 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 caps lock, tell me why you wear that green ribbon?
Or I will divorce you.
Side. What?
I said, or I will divorce you.
His wife sighed and answered, look, if you really love me, please just drop it. One day, I promise I will tell you why. So Jim dropped it, even though he was dying to know. He just accepted the fact that his wife always wore a
fucking
green ribbon
weird.
around her neck and was fucking weird. They grew old together, and the woman became very sick. The doctor told Jim she was going to die soon. Jim sat by her bedside for days, distraught, and then he finally said, please tell me now, why do you always wear that ribbon around your neck? In a croaky voice, his wife replied, okay, I'll tell you. Take it off now. Jim reached for the ribbon with fumbling fingers. He pulled the bow loose, and her head fell off.
What? What?
Yeah, this is like a creep. This is like a kid's. I remember hearing this when I was a kid, and different variations of it, and it really creeped me out. Basically, like her head has been decapitated the whole time, and for whatever reason, that was why she wore the ribbon.
Unless that was like a medical grade ribbon.
Yeah, no. But it, like when you're a kid, if you don't think about it scientifically, like yeah, scientifically,
right. No, I know. I'm still creeped out.
As a kid, it freaked me out.
Yeah, no,
because I wasn't thinking about like,
now,
the head's too heavy to be held by a ribbon. I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah, no, it is creepy, but also like, what the fuck? Who wrote that? The fuck? Like, why? That's she. Like, if she was decapitated, like, she wouldn't be alive.
I don't think you should do critical analysis on this story because
I can't. I mean, I can't. There's nothing to critically analyze. It's all what?
Yeah, it's weird. She's like a ghoul, like a living dead.
Yeah, I mean, how'd she have babies even? Like, didn't her head fall off like when she was
a living dead?
Like, no, but that's weird. Zombies can't have kids, you know?
She can.
Okay, what a weirdo. She's also like, look, here's my critical analysis of this. There's like so many fucking red flags. Since you were kids, there were red flags. And actually, there was only one red flag, which is that she kept coyly or averting her gaze, saying, eventually, like, what the fuck? Like, I am about to marry you and have your, like, give you, we're going to have kids together. The fuck? Tell me. I'm sorry for all the cursing people.
No, I know it's frustrating,
Like,
but he loved her.
red flag.
Jim loved her.
Yeah, and that's what I would say. If you love me, you would tell me.
Ooh, guilt tripping.
Yeah, well, this in this case it's warranted.
Well, that's her choice, though.
Yeah, well, it's
Oh.
my choice to know.
It's not hurting anyone. That's the thing.
It's hurting me that you're keeping
It's not.
secrets
It's just
from
a
me.
style. It's like a stylistic.
It's hurting
quote.
me that that's your style because it sucks. Okay. Okay. Well,
All right.
okay.
Do you want to hear the origins?
Yeah, because this is fucked up. I just want to know where that came from.
Unlike many legends, there's really no pretense that the story has roots in reality. Typically, the punchline evokes laughter and shock. Some versions have the woman cautioning that her lover will be sorry if he pushes the issue, that admonishes him with a told you as her head travels across the floor.
The fuck?
In all likelihood, it was a writer, Washington Irving, who got the ball or cranium rolling. Irving published a short story in 1824 titled The Adventures of a German Student, where a young man becomes enamored with a Parisian woman whom he meets while she looks on mournfully near a guillotine. After consummating their mutual attraction, she's found dead in his bed the next morning. A policeman undoes a ribbon tied around her neck, prompting her head to slide off. Irving's poor protagonist is quickly committed to an insane asylum. It's believed that Irving heard the story from his friend, the Irish poet Thomas Moore, who had heard it from the British writer Horace Smith.
Mm-hmm.
That is the origins.
Fucked up. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Washington Irving.
Thank you. Thank you for gracing us with it.
Amazing. And bye. Okay, no. So yeah, I guess any of these stories ever like spark anything in you? Like, did anything happen to you similar?
Me?
We're gonna think. No, I mean, certainly no one's head has fallen off.
Yeah, thankfully I've never experienced that.
When I ever moved,
but I will now. The next time I see like a ribbon or something or a choker around someone's neck, I will think of that story now.
Thankfully, that's not in vogue anymore. I don't know anyone who does that.
Some peeps bringing back the 90s look.
Okay, but not like a thick ass ribbon, you know.
No, those are in.
Where? I don't see them. And if they are, like, I won't associate with you. I don't want your head to roll around my floor.
Anti-ribbon.
Yeah, I don't have anything like this that has happened.
No, you have your creepy lady in Mama and Papa's house.
I've had creepy happening, but I mean, I'm not gonna. We've already been running long because I don't know how long.
This is a special holiday edition. Okay, we're
gonna. Okay, but what is it? A holiday of me editing it?
I can edit it.
Wow. Okay. Well, my grandparents' house in the Philippines was haunted, and I hung out there a lot. So, of course, I just saw a bunch of ghosts and experienced.
Oh, you saw a bunch? I thought I only know of the lady. Did you see more? Tell me.
No, but by see I mean like experience. I've also just
tell me.
Well, it's mainly happened in that area downstairs. Like, you know how downstairs you go down the stairs in like this little basement area, which like is a fine. It's like we live down there. Like it has a living space, a bedroom, a kitchen. But then like the kitchen opens up to like a little backyard. But that's like it's down though. It's down from the ground level. So it's like basement level.
You're like disappearing. Sorry, it's really funny.
Don't.
Okay, go ahead.
But that area always creeped me out. Like that outdoor area was so different from like if you go upstairs and go out that way. Like that the outdoor area going out the normal way was fine. The outdoor area going out from the kitchen downstairs from the basement was so like that's where I saw that ghost is going down there at night trying to get something from the fridge. And I turned behind me and I saw that lady
Did you
with
like see it? Do you still remember it like it was yesterday? Like, is it like
no,
clear
I
as
just
day?
I don't remember the details like it was yesterday. I just know the feeling and that it was definitely a woman without a fucking face.
Terrifying. What was she wearing? Do you
A
remember?
white.
White dress.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I just knew she was like a white lady. There is a legend in the Philippines called the White Lady. We should have looked that up.
Mm.
Anyway, maybe like it could have been my mind playing tricks on me, but it was terrifying. And I just know that every time I'm out that in that yard, you just feel it. It just feels very I can't describe it. Like the hair stands.
Heavy.
No, it's not heavy. The hair stands up on your body and you just know there's like there's a presence there with you. And it happens in the daytime too. It's not I don't go out there at night.
Mhm.
And you just know that there's something there. It doesn't feel it didn't really feel malevolent, but it felt not human because there was no human there
Yeah.
besides me. It's just very scary. I tried not to go out that way. um
Mo pulled a prank on me last time we stayed at Mama and Papa's house
oh no, what did he do?
because he also could tell that it was haunted. Like, and
He
he didn't
could.
tell me. He didn't tell me it was him until like just a couple of weeks ago. So this whole time I thought I heard something. I was in the kitchen like washing dishes by myself. I thought that Mo had already like been winding down in bed. He was staying in that nice old room, the
Mm-hmm.
little room under the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I was like alone in the kitchen washing dishes, and I heard like that on the wall, the left wall. So you know where the sink is, right?
Yeah.
And then the wall like to the left. And I like turned, and you know how there's windows there? You could see if someone's there or no one. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, what the fuck? Like it was terrifying. And I quickly like ran to see like if anyone was there. Mama and Papa are already sleeping. I didn't see Mo there. And I was like, the
Oh
fuck?
my
And I
god.
ran there pretty quickly. And I was like, and that like really scared me. I finished washing the dishes super fast. I like jumped into Mo's bed and I'm like, oh my gosh, the scariest thing happened. He was like, what? What? And he was like such a good actor. That fucking
Well, I
he's a
can't
good
believe
actor.
he kept that secret from you this entire
Yeah.
time. How was he making the noise? Just like banging
He
on the
just
wall?
banged and then quickly ran back to the
What the that's fucked up.
room.
Wow, what a fucker.
Good prank. He's
That is
no, he's a
good.
great actor too. He was like, wait, what? Like, what happened? Tell me about it. Fuck you, Mel.
Wow. Ooh, Oscar
We
nom
need to
right
get him back.
there. Oscar nom. Um
But
uh
no, I haven't had any. I think no, I don't. Okay, I don't think it's cool you've had any, but I mean, it's pretty cool. You have stories to tell.
I'm actually getting chills right now just thinking of
I just have my sleep paralysis issues, which I think is enough for me. I don't need anything more than that
yeah,
because that's in your brain. Like you can't get away
there
from that.
yeah, I think well, oh god, that house is so creepy. Like the downstairs area and also the upstairs area where Tito Watt's room is.
Yeah, and it's kind of creepy now because when Mo and I visited, Papa took us on a tour of those rooms, and it's just
Uh-huh.
creepy that they're all abandoned now, and like the objects are still where they are. Like Mom's old room when she was a
Oh
teenager, like the
god.
objects are
Oh,
still
I'm getting
there.
chills. Dude, that the top floor is definitely
Yeah, and I
definitely
know Tita Watts told me at some point about hearing like whispers and stuff outside
yeah.
her window,
Uh-huh. It's definitely that area is definitely haunted.
like
Like
people
I
talking,
can't I do no.
people talking in hushed whispers.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was curious about the downstairs area. I like wanted to go down there, but it was like sealed off and locked off. But I told
Good.
Mo
No
your
one should go down
story.
there.
Yeah, I told Mo about your story.
No one should go down there. And whenever I visit, well, not whenever it's in the Philippines, but like when I was there, I like tried to just stay in Mama and Papa's room and like I don't
I
know,
feel like if you and I and Mo ever go back there, we should like go down
do like a
the downstairs
paranormal
area. Yeah, and have like a little
investigation.
seance,
We
like
should
have a
like,
little.
oh, I'm not gonna do a seance. I'm gonna get the tools that the ghost hunters use and go like to como
Yeah,
se
but we should have
DP.
like we should all three of us camp down there and just tell like scary stories and see if we.
No, oh, are you a masochist? No, you do it. I'm gonna stay in the kitchen eating Filipino food. Okay. Anyway, this has gone on long
Anyway,
enough. Uh,
well, we hope you enjoy this, guys.
yeah. Happy Halloween,
Happy
everyone.
Halloween.
Stay safe.
Wear your masks.
And yes, wear your Halloween mask and your normal mask.
Yeah, double mask it, bro.
Double mask it, baby. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, we harmonized.
Wait, I'm gonna. Oh shit.